Picture this, you are the head of marketing for a financial institution. Your marketing team has been working with another team, a development team, developing a product which will be released soon to the market. And your team will need to promote this product, do all the marketing for this product. And this other team has requested a few weeks ago that you come to something called a sprint review. It's a meeting that happens every 2 weeks. No idea what it is, but you decided to attend for the first time. You joined the meeting, online meeting, 1 minute late, and to your surprise, you are the only stakeholder part of this meeting. The rest of the members attending, members of the team, and they were pleased. They even thanked you for joining. Yeah, great, there's a stakeholder who attended our meeting. This meeting looks very promising. The meeting started by the product owner greeting everyone, including you, the stakeholder, the only stakeholder in the meeting, and started to talk about things that they are planned to do in the sprint. What is a sprint? You don't know what's a sprint. And they planned to work on user story AL 321, AL 165, AL 721. What's a user story? What are these ALs 321? You don't know, and you ask simply a question. What are these? What do they do? And the product owner tells you, oh, you don't need to go into too much details here. These things are already completed. Maybe in the end of a meeting, we can talk about what's coming next, and I can give you full details. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. That's a good response. That makes sense. Then the product owner shows the burn down chart. Again, you have no clue what a burn down chart is. The product owner is saying that it's good. So you simply ask, what's a burn down chart? Again, too complex. Let's have a conversation after the sprint and I will explain to you what a burn down chart is. Yeah, okay, fair response from the product owner. Next, the product owner showed the velocity of the team and it seemed that only 60% of what the team had committed to do, they completed. 60%. And everyone was very pleased. The product owner said that it was very good compared to previous sprints and that next time we shouldn't overcommit. Wait a minute. Only 60% of the work that they committed on doing was completed and that is considered good. And they shouldn't overcommit. What? So they should be taking even less work in the next sprint, the next 2 weeks? What's happening here? Next was the demo, the best part of this meeting. Well, the product owner said that it was the best part of the meeting. A developer shared their screen. You can't remember their name because they didn't mention their name. They just shared their screen and started talking, showing what they did. You saw some codes, but you don't understand because you're not a developer on the screen. And then the developer clicked on a button and something happened in the background. An automated process. You didn't have a context, so you simply ask, what does this thing do? What's the benefit for the customer? The product owner jumped in. Let's talk about that in another meeting because it's too complex. There's too much details to explain to that right now. It's not the forum to be talking about this. Next, the product owner shared their screen again, but this time they were talking about the future. What will be done in the next sprint? And they started again. User story AL128, AL321. You don't know what these AL are. You don't even know what user stories are. But you're too tired to ask now. No questions were answered up to now. And the meeting ended. They thanked you for attending. They were very pleased that you attended. And it seemed to be a good sprint review. One of the best sprint reviews up to now. You left the meeting and you felt that you just wasted 45 minutes. If you're a stakeholder watching this video, you know this feeling. Joining a sprint review. No value whatsoever. Ineffective, inefficient. Sprint review. If you're a Scrum team member watching this, do you understand the point of view of a stakeholder? Do you understand all the things wrong with this sprint review? And there's nothing uncommon here. That's the typical. Most sprint reviews are done this way. And even worse, a lot of sprint reviews are focused only on the demo part, ignoring the rest. That's even worse. In this video, I will share some tips, some guidelines, step-by-step plan on how to make your stakeholders being addicted to joining your sprint reviews. No longer being forced to join, but wanting to join. Let's shift this mindset. First off, if you don't know what a sprint review is, watch this video right here. Let's focus in this video on actual tips that you can implement right now to make them, the stakeholders, come to your sprint review. Be excited to come to your sprint review. A sprint review is not a demo. Most Scrum teams do that. They only demo for product. No, it's more than that. We are inspecting, remember the 3 pillars of Scrum: transparency, inspection, and then adaptation. We are inspecting what we did in the sprint, what was produced in the sprint. The increment, that's the demo part of things. We are inspecting what was delivered in the sprint or built in the sprint, but also how the team worked in the sprint, what went well, what can be improved. Then we inspect the product goal. Is the team still on track to complete the product goal? Is the product backlog still prioritized in a correct order? Do we need to review this priority? Are we sure that in the coming sprints, the team will be working on the right things that will maximize value for the customer? Looks like a crucial Scrum event or meeting, as stakeholders call it. Crucial, but why are we not attending? If it's so important, if we're talking about priorities, we're inspecting what we did, the demo, it looks extremely valuable for stakeholders, but they are not attending. Well, quite a few reasons. First off, they are not familiar with Agile or Scrum terminologies. They don't understand what we do. They don't understand the Agile manifesto or the Scrum framework, and that's totally fine. But the problem is that no one cared to explain that to them. Everyone expected that they knew. Everyone expected that when people come to the meeting, they already are in our context. They know about agility. They know about Scrum. Now, come on. They are most probably in their own little world, their marketing world for the head of marketing, and that's totally fine. Your role is to explain to them how you work. Be transparent about that so that they can see how they can help you. So ensure that when you're doing the sprint reviews, maybe have a separate conversation, another meeting to explain how you work, all the terminologies, so that when they come to the sprint review, they feel that they understand what we are talking about and that it's valuable. Or second option, turn the sprint review into a more business-oriented meeting, less technical, no Agile terminologies, no burn down, no velocity, only talking about priority, the product goal, the sprint goal, commitments versus plan, and doing the demo. Second, they are not joining because they feel that it's a waste of time. They understand the terminologies, but when they come, they ask questions. They don't get good replies. The team is working on things that they are not agreeable on. All the things that they want to do with the product that they suggested are completely ignored. For them, it's a complete waste of time. Even the structure of a meeting, they don't like it. Third, psychological safety. They don't feel safe to ask questions. Maybe someone from upper management is here present in the meeting, and they are the only one talking. All the rest of the stakeholders are afraid to speak. They are not psychologically safe. If you want to know how to fix that, watch this video right here. Number 4, it's only a one-sided communication. A sprint review should be two-way communication. But no, in the story, one-sided communication. The product owner sharing their screen and then talking. As you ask questions, no, let's talk about that in another session. The demo, you ask questions, no, let's talk about that in another demo. Filled with technical jargon. You are not here to provide your input. No, it's a one-sided communication. Could have been an email. Did you really think that the head of marketing, upper management, have the time to waste in these kinds of meetings? You are not even meeting their requirements for the meeting, because their requirements might be different. Did you even ask them what they want to see in this meeting? Look at the story. Remember when he talked, the story, the end of a meeting. Everyone was very satisfied. The Scrum team, excellent sprint review. Did we ask the stakeholder how they felt concerning the sprint review? That's one of the major things, but I never see Scrum teams doing. Asking for feedback concerning the sprint review. You are doing this meeting to meet some crucial requirements in terms of inspection and adaptability, but also you are doing this meeting, this Scrum event, so that people join. So that you can celebrate what you did in the sprint. And this needs to be a two-way conversation. It can't only be your meeting. You also need to make sure that it's valuable for your stakeholders. And you do that by asking questions. If a stakeholder was a customer, you would ask them what they want, right? What do we want? How do we feel about this format? But no, you're not asking them for a sprint review. Why? Now, here are some proven strategies that you can start using right now for your next sprint review, to make your next sprint review entertaining, to make the stakeholders excited to come. Date and time, extremely important, but people don't even think about that. You're inviting so many sprint reviews, so many developers. You look at the calendar but you see everyone is booked at this time. It makes sense. There's 50 people in the meeting. They just send random time and place. Now, check with your stakeholders first. Ensure that important stakeholders, they don't have another meeting clashing with upper management. Obviously, they will go to the upper management meeting. Maybe your stakeholders are not joining your sprint review simply because the time and date not appropriate for them. I use a tool, whenavailable.com. Basically, you send a link and every stakeholder can input their time, their best time and date. And then the tool will extract based on a logic, what's the best time and place to have the meeting. Simple tool that collects feedback from customers so that you can make a right decision. And talking about feedback, that's the next one. Extremely important. We talked about that a few minutes ago. Ask them. At the end of your next sprint review, have a slide on collecting feedback. You can use something like slido.com to collect anonymous feedback. It needs to be anonymous. We don't know if they are psychologically safe. Questions, simple. Was this sprint review valuable? Why was this sprint review valuable? What would you improve? What do you want to see more? What do you want to see less? What do you want to be improved in the next sprint review? Simple questions, and leave it free text so that they can enter exactly what they want. And they will give you feedback. And as it's anonymous, they will be happy to share. But please tell them to provide as much details as possible. Next is the second part of the feedback. Extremely important also. Stakeholders are inspecting what you did in the sprint. You are not the only one inspecting and then adapting. Stakeholders are also providing you inputs concerning this inspection, what you did in the sprint, what you presented, the priority of the backlog, are we working on the right things, what needs to change with the product, what needs to be improved with the product. Collect this feedback. Two-way conversation. Make them feel valued. The worst thing you can do is always asking for feedback. Stakeholders asking for feedback and then never, completely ignoring the feedback, never implementing the feedback. That's the worst. That's even worse than asking for feedback. And I guarantee you that if you keep doing that, they will no longer come to your sprint reviews because they feel that they are not valued enough. That's the most important thing. You need to make the stakeholders feel that they are valuable. We need them in this meeting, and one of the best ways to do that is to implement the changes that we request. Obviously, you need to please multiple stakeholders. That's where a strong product owner needs to come here to manage all these stakeholders and please everyone equally. But again, remember, your highest priority is to please the customer. Keep that in mind without neglecting the stakeholders. I would like to end this video with one of the most important sections of the sprint review, which is often ignored by Scrum teams. Stakeholders are here to help you provide feedback, yeah, but also help you. They are often members of management, upper management, maybe a director or the CEO is attending your sprint review. Use them to help you resolve impediments. Use them to help you resolve dependencies with other teams, dependencies with service providers, third-party providers. Maybe something is slowing you down. You don't have enough capacity in the team. Your laptop is not working. How can they help? They are here to help. Use them. And the cool part is that when you ask for help from someone, they feel valuable. And I guarantee that they will come in the next sprint review because they feel valuable. Which brings me to my next point. If you want more tips, insights on Agile, Scrum, personal growth, click on the video that stands out the most on the screen right now. And I'll see you in a few seconds.